may give you a better chance than Billy Zappi coming in and doing what he did.
I can promise you this. He was more prepared for that moment running a 2-minute offense than Bailey Zappi was preparing this week for the game. You don't give backups a 2-minute drive like that. Mac Jones has been prepared situation better than the others. It was shocking Bill Belichick made that decision at that point in the game.
Mac Jones was 50, the interception was terrible, but he was 15 to 20 for 170. I mean, it wasn't like he was 9 of 33 or something, which makes no sense in that scenario to make that change. I didn't like it at all.
Colts win. They cover the 1.5, and the under cashes easily. Just to button up on what the state of the Patriots is right now. They were 3-0 all-time in international games with Tom Brady covering the spread, but today, catching a 1.5 against the Colts in Germany, they end up losing, and of course, by virtue of that, also do not end up covering the game. So what is going to be the big takeaway from this game? Pete, I'll start with you. What stands out to you in a 10-6 Colts win over the Patriots?
This was a quarterback how not to on both sides of the ball. If you ever want to get a manual out and show guys, look, this is what you don't do when you play quarterback.
But that's not the story of this game.
No, the story of the game is the Patriots stink. I mean, that's the story of the game. It's a disaster. And all this talk about firing Bill Belichick and should they fire him? They should fire Bill Belichick, the general manager. That's who should be fired. And if he pushes back and balks at it, then you send him packing.
Hold on for a second, though. Let's just break down this game. All right, they're down 7-3, 4th and goal, and he elects in the fourth quarter, about 12 minutes left, to kick the field goal. Now, you know, that may be what their analytics are telling them to do at that point. Given how their offense had struggled, that's probably a moment where you go, this might be our best chance of scoring a touchdown. They're not creating big plays. They're not moving the football much. That might have been one where I say, Indianapolis wasn't doing much either. You go for it on 4th down, you don't get it, so what? They're backed up, you're playing the field position battle, because either way, you still need another score to be able to win that game. That's a head coaching decision that he made to kick the field goal. Then they give up a return to the 50-yard line that then puts the Colts back in a better position on the backside of that. So I look at it and just go, that decision there on the 4th and goal and not going for it, the quarterback swapping there with 2 minutes left, if you're going to make a change, do it at halftime. At that point, at least give Bailey Zappi a half of football to get into a rhythm. To have him standing there cold on the sidelines, and you're asking him in the final 2 minutes to go down there and drive down, and I can promise you, those are not reps. When you're the starter, you're not giving those to the backup all week. He's not prepared for that moment. That's where you start to call into question Bill Belichick's decision-making in that moment, especially as a player.
Should he be fired?
But that's not Bill Belichick, the GM. That's Bill Belichick, the coach.
Should he be fired as coach then?
The point I'm going to make is that they have... What's the difference between Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi? They're exact same, right? Same athlete, same arm, same mental mistakes they're making out on the field. So if you're going to make that change, and let's say you had an Anthony Richardson type athlete, at least that gives you a different perspective or a different way to attack downfield in that 2 minute. Maybe he makes some plays with his legs, but you replace one with the other, and they're identical twins in the way they play the quarterback.
And they had that guy, and Malik Cunningham, they let him go. I mean, he would have been a change-up at quarterback with his ability to run the football, create with his legs like you're talking about. But you go back to the last play, a fake spike down the field. I mean, you could put it on Bailey Zappi for making a poor decision if you're watching, but again, he's not prepared for that moment. He's executing what they're asking him to do and trying to operate the best he can. I hated the move for the players, whether it was Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi. Neither, in that case, is in a position to go win.
He did have one-on-one on the outside and threw in the middle where there were 3 guys, so it was a bad decision.
Well, first off, they were playing a too-high constructed structure.
He had the guy
so it wasn't one-on-one. It was
go take a look at it. He had the guy on the sideline. Just like
last week, it wasn't single-high coverage. I can guarantee you
Brady, can I ask you a quick...
You don't even know what you're looking at.
A quick question from a quarterback. If you're Zappi and you get thrown in the game like that, I know you want to go out and perform, but do you think after the game and you threw that interception, well, what do they expect me to do? It wasn't fair for me to go in that final 2 minutes?
You saw them talking on the sidelines before Zappi even took the field. I mean, Zappi was kind of like, all right, I guess we're doing this. Like he couldn't believe they were putting him in that position.
Mac Jones went over and tapped him, and he's like, he looked like a zombie, like, I'm going in the game?
Well, yeah, because, again, as quarterbacks, like, you kind of know your roles going into the week, and you understand, hey, if something happens, obviously I may get a shot to go in. But you kind of get a feeling for it as a starter if the other guy's getting a lot of reps. And as the backup, you get a feeling for that, like, hey, if this guy doesn't play well, maybe I'll go in. With 2 minutes left,
Yeah.
You're not thinking at that point in time the game's the time you're going to insert you.
I would embrace it, though. I'm getting the play. I'm going to go. I have
There's
nothing
no
to
doubt he
lose.
embraced it. He just took a
nothing to lose.
They didn't even give him a chance to
There's
go throw
nothing to lose. I want to play. Would you rather be standing on the sideline watching? I want to play. I know it's not great, but I want to play.
You want to play. You want to be in a position.
But
No one's debating that. Like, what are you talking about?
But
No
you're
one's
saying-
debating that.
you're-
I'm saying neither quarterback is going to be prepared.
Okay,
He's not going to be compared in that moment.
It wasn't fair to him, but once you go in, go play and play free and play
And
loose.
he did. He played really free. So free, he threw the ball into triple coverage.
You're right, but
All right.
he looked like he knew the play.
You want to go in and have
Yeah,
a
he knew the
chance to
fake
have
spike
success.
part. Then the rest of it was,
Did he even get a chance to throw any sideline balls before he went out there, or they just say, "Hey, you're in"?
it was hard to tell. It looked like it was.
So, okay, we're killing them for making that decision. Should he be fired as a head coach of the New England Patriots?
That's not up to me. I'm never going to be one to even.
You have an opinion on it, don't you? You're here to give opinions.
He's Bill Belichick. You're not going to fire him.
I would
right?
fire him.
I don't think they'll ever fire him. I think if they agree, they'll end up agreeing to go in the separate ways. That would be how I would foresee this happening. But I think now what you've been critical of is him as a general manager.
Correct.
And what I'm saying now is you can second guess him on all those personnel decisions. This was a game where you could second guess his coaching decisions, which a lot of people don't want to do because he's been so successful as a head coach. But this is one where you look at it and go, you could say whatever you want about the personnel and the team that's on the field. I didn't feel like he gave his team the best chance to win today with that 4th and goal decision that he made and kicked the field goal instead, and with the way they handled it with the final 2 minutes, throwing in Zappy the way they did.
And you make the point about, okay, let's fire him as a GM, keep him as a head coach. What GM would want to go into that situation where you're going to tell Bill Belichick what you're going to do from a personnel standpoint? He's going to look at you like you're from Mars.
Well, if he doesn't, then he goes. I mean, that's really simple. You put the guy in, he's in charge. He's making the football decisions. He's drafting the players. He's signing the free agents. If you look at here, Bill, here's your track record. This is why we're doing it. His track record the last 10 years has been awful, terrible when it comes to signing free agents and drafting players. This roster's bad. Bill Belichick, the coach, is being victimized by Bill Belichick, the general manager. And if you don't fix it, he has to go.
That wasn't the issue today, though.
No, he had some bad decisions today, but the roster stinks.
Now they're 2-8. Got a bye week here in Week 11 before they embark on their last set of games, of course, during the regular season. With the first pick, Rick Spielman and Ryan Wilson. Obviously talking about maybe what New England's got in store and their draft thoughts moving forward. Make sure to check them out. They tape 2 times a week. All right, we'll hit that break. When we come back, Texans and Bengals, Stroud and Burrow. Cincy laying somewhere around 6 or 6.5. We're getting back to picks there with the fellows on the other side.
All right, it was obviously a disappointing game. Similar theme that we've had other games this year. Just too many missed opportunities, and in all 3 phases of the game. So just got to play better situational football and do a better job taking advantage of the opportunities that we have. I just didn't do a good enough job today.
Going to front row.
Bill, just ahead of the bye week and going into the Giants, we've seen you bench Mac Jones this afternoon. Is this the future of Mac Jones in the business, or will we see him return again in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, we'll worry about next week. Next week, the game just finished like a half hour ago.
Corey Yang in the front row.
Bill, what made Bailey Zappi the best option at quarterback?
Yeah, I just thought it was time for a change.
Mike Reese in the front row, far right.
Bill, was any of that related to injury?
Yeah, look, I made a decision. That's what it was. We'll deal with next week.
In the second row.
Bill, do you still have faith in Mac Jones as your quarterback?
I have faith in all our players.
We're in the third row in the middle.
What do you think about the German fans? How did you like the atmosphere in the game?
Yeah, it was good. It's good energy in the stadium. Yeah, they're into it. It's a good day.
Back to Mike Reese in the front row, far right.
Bill, on the all-out punt rush, is that the way that you wanted to play that play?
Not exactly, but yeah, I mean, he had a good ball.
But you definitely didn't want to return her back.
Well, there were a couple different options in the play, but punter ended up hitting a good ball. Sanchez had a good ball, got a good roll on it. So.
Doug Kai, far right.
Does pitching Mac Jones in that situation with the game on the line make it more difficult to insert him as a second quarterback?
Yeah, again, we'll deal with next week.
In the front row,
Coach, are you happy with the return you're getting from Ezekiel Elliott?
Look, I think a lot of players are playing pretty good football, but as a team, we're just not doing enough things that we need to do to win. So everybody needs to do better. Simple as that.
A couple final questions. You're in the front row.
Coach, how much does the talk about your job security bother you?
Yeah, I'll just do the best I can every day.
Take a final question, Chris Gasper.
Bill, Robert Kraft was on NFL Network before the game. He talked about this season. He said it's been really disappointing, and I hope things would be better. Are those sentiments he's expressed to you directly?
Yeah, I think we all feel that way. I think we're all disappointed in the season. But we'll keep going here. We got 7 games to go. Be ready to go next week against the Giants. All right.